but we really don't know what happened. We just know that there was apparently a reconciliation between Lewis Carroll and the Little family after they were apart for about 6 months.
Well, they did become friendly again, but not by any means with the intensity that they had before.
They corresponded occasionally, and as she became an adult, I think she kept her fond memories of him from the way she wrote and talked about him subsequently.
Twinkle. What next?
Her life was tragic. There was a point when Alice was actually seeing, I think romantically, Prince Leopold, Queen Victoria's youngest son. And that would have pleased Mrs. Little very much, but Victoria lowered the axe that wouldn't have it.
Here, today is your birthday, too.
Alice got married to a man called Reginald Hargreaves. She became, by all accounts, a fairly formidable woman. She was very difficult with her sons, forbidding them to get married.
She lost 2 sons in the war, and the one son who remained was something of a playboy and squandered the family fortune.
And she subsequently did sell some of her possessions, the manuscripts, the letters that Dodgson had sent her.
Yes, my dear.
They met again for tea many, many years later, but obviously they were much different people.
He records that in his diary, yes. And it was a nice, pleasant visit.
Oh, that's it.
Somebody help me! Catch it!
The jam, my heart.
Lewis Carroll remained a bachelor all his life. He continued writing, photographing, studying mathematics and logic. I don't think Carroll expected the Alice books to cause the sensation they did, to become as popular as they did. He found himself a more prominent figure than he expected to be, and I think perhaps wanted to be.
Dodgson really was loved and was viewed as a very sweet, gentle soul.
He died 13 days before his 66th birthday in January 1898.
A friend wrote of his funeral. His body was laid to rest while the slow bell tolled the passing of the sweetest soul that ever looked with human eye.
Well, you're not a...
Alice became the inheritor of the whole Alice Adventuress in Wonderland myth.
And I think it must have been immensely perplexing for Alice Little herself, particularly as she grew older, to have people relating to her as the person who was the child in this book. In the 1930s, there was a huge increase of interest in Alice in Wonderland because in 1932, Alice Hargreaves went to New York and everybody suddenly got terribly interested in this person who'd been Lewis Carroll's muse, and the papers and magazines and news broadcasts were full of stories about the real Alice.
Then it is true that you are the original Alice in Wonderland, Mrs. Hargreaves.
Well, yes, the story was told to me. And my sisters, we were all in a boat together with Mr. Dodgson, who was rowing us down the river.
For Alice Hargreaves, how bizarre. She should get pulled out of obscurity and is expected to remember intimate stories about her relationship with Charles Dodgson, which frankly, she really can't recall very easily.
But she was in her 80s already and didn't live much longer after she got back.
I do.
You know, it seems Lewis Carroll was really aware of the transformative effect of this relationship. Looking back on it many years later in 1887, he described it wistfully.
Stand back from the shadowy past, Alice, the child of my dreams. Full many a year has slipped away since that golden afternoon that gave thee birth. But I could call it up almost as clearly as if it were yesterday. The 3 eager faces, hungry for news of fairyland, and who would not be said nay to, from whose lips, tell us a story, please, had all the stern immutability of fate.
Alice, will you kindly pay attention and recite your lesson?
My feeling about it is that here is this man who saw in this child, Alice Pleasance Little, a a quality of something that was very precious. And he celebrated it by creating another Alice, an Alice that's a fictional character who has this extraordinary adventure, a free, unshackled adventure of imagination.
Come along, it's time for tea.
How wonderful it is, though, that the joy of that relationship between the clergyman who became known as Lewis Carroll and the Alice who became world famous as Alice of Alice in Wonderland. How wonderful that's captured for us forever.